Hi everybody and welcome to How Did You Show for the Property Beginners. Today I'm interviewing a very good friend of mine, Ruby. Fantastic Ruby. Hi Ruby.
Hi everyone. Hi Lex.
How are you?
I am good. The sun is shining. I'm happy. How are you?
Amazing. I'm very good, thank you. And very exciting having you on my show. Thank you very much for saying yes. Very excited about that. First of all, before I'm going to start asking you any questions, I just want to say for the listeners that one of the reasons why I chosen you to be on my show because you are very inspirational, a young lady. So you are 23 years old, is that correct?
22.
22 years old. Very, very inspirational, very driven, passionate about properties, passionate about life, great mindset, great energy, love your energy. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I thought that you were going to be fantastic to share the first. So Ruby, you have got your first essay, is that correct? For the listeners, hold on, essay is service accommodation unit.
Yes.
There we go.
I have got two actually. I just took one on recently 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. So, there we go. So fantastic. You're going to tell us more about that. Congratulations, you clever girl.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
So now, first of all, let's just start. Tell me a little bit about you and what you do outside of a property to help to pay the bills.
So how long have we got?
Just, just give us some information about you.
So before property, I was just at university, just studying. I wanted to be a teacher. I thought when I was 16, 17, I want to be a teacher. That's going to be my job. And that's it. I was very passionate because I love children. They're so cute. And, helping them learn things is so satisfying. And I find it really joyful inside me, when you help somebody learn something. They're like, I understand it now. It's a good feeling inside.
Absolutely.
But then I realized through university that I don't like the whole system. We are so controlled. We go to school, we go to college, we go to uni, we get a job, we get a car, we get married, we have a dog. Boring. I just realized I don't want that. I do, but I want more in life. So then my brain just started I just started thinking like an entrepreneur. How can I work for myself and, things like this. And then after I finished university, I did a few jobs. I realized I can't work for somebody. I could not do the job longer than 1 month. Lenka, I don't know what it is. I just couldn't do it. So I keep hopping to jobs. And then I realized, I need to do something for myself. I got speaking to somebody about property. He told me his daughter and him have just bought a house, they put the money half and half. Why don't I do the same? And then he just sparked the conversation in my head. And then from that moment, I just Googled how to get into property. And then the rest came after that. History. But before property, just student of life, I would say, just, learning.
Amazing. So okay, so you so now you are full-time in properties, or is that what you do? Is that full-time roughly, or
it's hard to say. Sometimes when I first started in January 2019, I was full-time because I had some money in my savings from the student loan, so I was living off my student loan. Free money, woo.
Yeah.
But then obviously the student loan pot got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I realized as I'm doing property, I need a job. So I've been kind of full-time, but then I had to get a job, but then part-time. So I've been dipping in and out of property, full-time, part-time, but I would probably say somewhere in the middle of part-time and full-time.
50%, 50-50.
Yes, yeah.
Amazing. And which part of the UK are you from? Where are you based?
I am from Leicester. I tried to say that so nicely without sounding common. Leicester.
Because I know that you're also organizing a property networking event, aren't you?
Yes. Kasim, one of my good friends, Kasim Ali, who does service accommodation in London, he asked me whether I wanted to, co-host with him in Leicester, and I thought, why not? I don't say no to anything because Amazing. Why? It's an opportunity. So I said yes.
Absolutely. Well done.
We just co-hosted it, and it was really good. People would come and learn and tips, and it was good for me as well as other people.
Absolutely, you are amazing. So, what did make you to choose service accommodation / SA? Why did you choose that strategy / business? Because it's not for because this podcast it's for beginners. So just so they understand that service accommodation is not really a strategy. It's a strategy, but it is a full-time business.
Yeah,
it's more. Yeah. It's a business, so it is a strategy, but it's / business. So yeah, what made you to go for service accommodation? Why service accommodation?
I mean, when I first started, like with property in general, I did a lot of Googling. Like, I'm 21. How do I get into property with no money? And I did a lot of Googling, so much Googling. And then a table came up on Google, and it said time versus money. And it said loads of different property things like buy to let, flips, all of these things. And then it said something which said sourcing, and it said sourcing required no money. So I was like, yes, because I haven't got any. And then
perfect.
And then it said it needed loads of time, and I was like, yes, because I just finished university. I have all the time in the world.
Amazing. So you're basically a poor, time rich, cash poor.
Yeah. That was my situation when I started. Yes. So I took advantage of that. So I decided to do this sourcing thing. I had no idea what sourcing was, Lenka. But for those of you listening, sourcing, oh God, this is hard to explain, but sourcing is you're sourcing a property for investors. So you're the middleman, you know the investor, you know the person selling the property, and you match them in the middle, because without you, they would not know each other. So yeah, I thought I would have a dabble at that. I was then thinking with sourcing, what do I source? Buy to lets, HMOs, student accommodations or service accommodation. And then I just thought service accommodation seemed to be the hottest thing. Everybody was doing this strategy.
It was the trend. It was a trend, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, everybody was jumping on it. And not to say that was the reason, but it seemed quite simple. And I learned a lot of my learnings through networking and talking to people. And if everybody on Facebook was doing service accommodation, it's easier for me to say, hey, what are you doing? What does SA mean? What is a contract? How do you spell this? What is that? How do I talk to agents? Because everybody's doing it. Somebody would help you one way or another. So then I started off with sourcing service accommodation. And then the unit that I have, I was going to source that to somebody as like one of my first, things I sourced. And then somebody said to me, Ruby, why are you sourcing this? Why don't you keep it for yourself? Yeah. You live in Leicester and the deal is in Leicester. And I thought, good point. It sparked something in my brain. I was like, why am I not keeping it? What is stopping me from taking that deal on? It was just money. That's it. I didn't have money. I didn't have a couple of grand to get it started. And then I guess from that inspiration.
Shall we just quickly explain what you needed? There's $2,000 for the beginners, because you need money for like furniture to set it up. Yeah. If it's a rent to, because also we didn't mention that you're doing a rent to SA, so you're renting the property off somebody else's. So it's somebody else owns the property. You rent it off them. You pay the monthly rent, and then you get the rest from your profits.
That's right.
So we don't need to go too deeply into it, but just so for the beginners, for the listeners.
Of course, yes, and we can go into more detail into how I got the deal.
Absolutely, we will. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's how my first deal came about. I wasn't looking for it. I was sourcing them, and then somebody said, "Why don't you keep it?" I thought, "Why not?" Then I just sold the idea to my mum, because she's the one with the money. So I said, "Hey, Mum, look at this. You can rent out this place per night for £80, £90 or whatever it is, and you can make a month's rent in a week." And she was like, "Oh." And then I just kept selling it to her, kept explaining the idea. I kept explaining it to her, and then she kind of had no choice, and she kind of believed me at this point, because they had seen me for 6 months learning about property, going to networking events, traveling across the UK, really passionate, like.
You're doing well. You are everywhere all the time. I'm watching you on the social. Like, you are everywhere. You're great.
I feel like you have to be, though. That's one tip I want to get out there, like, so badly, is you've got to be everywhere. Be in everybody's faces. You want to be that. Who is that Ruby person? Why does she keep coming up on my profile? That's what you want.
Yes.
Know.
Exactly. building your brand. You need to get yourself known. If people don't know you exist, how they would know that you could work together, or you can help them, or they can help you, or absolutely.
Exactly. It's so true. So I just, my mom saw me networking, and I guess I proved to them that I'm serious about this. So they took me seriously. So mom gave me the money, and then that's it. I set it up on my own, and we can get into more detail with that.
Sure. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so maybe you can tell us a little bit more how. So we covered that you did the rent to SA. So if you can explain to the listeners what rent to SA means, and how did you found that deal? So how did you source it, and how is it structured? How is that deal structured?
So thinking back, the way I structured it, I would be sitting on like Rightmove and Zoopla, step one, first of all, and I would look for properties to rent in Leicester, or which is my area, because I was not going anywhere outside of Leicester.
Was it flats or house you were looking for?
I was looking mainly for houses, because Leicester is full of apartments. I wanted to be different. I wanted to do the house with the parking and a garden. Everything apartment doesn't have.
Yeah, nice, yeah. Amazing.
So I always like to be different. I don't like to do the same as everybody else, because boring. I don't know. That's just me. So I typed into Rightmove, Zoopla, house to rent in Leicester, 0.2 to 0.4 miles away from the city centre, because I wanted it pretty close by, because it's very important. Another key tip, your location with serviced accommodation is everything.
Absolutely.
You have to get that right first. You have to know, will it work in the city centre? Will it not? Not everybody likes the city centre. Just a disclaimer, not everybody wants to be in the hustle and the bustle and the loud noise and the partying. And so you have to guess. I did it kind of backwards. I mean, I'm going to say you have to know your guest to then find the right thing for them. But because I did it, so got the property, then I got it ready for all kinds of guests. I kind of did it back to front kind of thing. But that's why I'm telling people, don't do it how I did it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so Rightmove, Zoopla, found some houses that match my search criteria. They look nice, photos look nice. They were unfurnished. I was looking for furnished, but
to save money for the furniture, yeah.
It's just no, it wouldn't say the money. In Leicester, the furnishing is not to a good standard.
Right.
It was not that good. So I just looked for unfurnished, found a nice place, rang the estate agent up. Now, at this point, I was very new. It's scary ringing a estate agent. What do I say? But through my networking, through asking loads of people on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, what do I say to the agent? What do you say? It sounds so stupid, but nothing is stupid, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah. How do I know what to ask somebody until somebody tells me how to?
Absolutely. So that's another lesson, isn't it, for the listeners? Just no questions are stupid. Just keep asking questions, because everybody was in the beginning. Everybody started somewhere, and no one was born with having answers about how to run property business. So you need to
I still don't know.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Trying as we're going along.
Exactly.
Of course. I mean, I remember at the start, I didn't even know what SA meant. What is SA? And then I realized, serviced accommodation. You learn. It's all learning. So no question is a silly question. There's a saying, and it's so true. Something about, would you rather be a fool for 1 minute by asking a question, or would you rather be a fool for a lifetime because you didn't ask the question?
That's the question. Exactly. Well done. That's beautiful.
Be the fool. Be the fool.
Be the fool. I'll happily be a fool or weirdo, as people saying us as well. No, you want to go to properties and service accommodations? Like, we must be a little crazy in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Okay, so then you found that property via agent, yeah? Yes. Now you met the agent, did you go for viewing, yeah?
Yeah, I was just going to say, prior to, because this is very key for people, it all goes hand in hand. So before I even called the agent, something I did before that was I reached out to somebody in my network. Now, you know him as well, Tally Sanger.
Oh, yes, yes.
He's in Birmingham. He was like me at the time. He was new as well. He probably started just before me, but he was getting into service accommodation. I used to dabble in Birmingham, thinking I would source there, but nothing ever worked out. But I reached out to Tally and said, "Hey, Tally, you know, you're doing a lot of agent visits, and you seem so confident. And like, how are you walking in and just saying what you're saying and getting the deals?" And he said to me, "Ruby, why don't you come with me? Let's do it together. Come to Birmingham. We will do some agent visits. We'll do 5 or 6 in a day. And let's just learn and do." And I thought, like I said, I'm not going to say no. So I said, yes, let's do it.
No question is stupid questions. You asked.
It's not.
Look at that. You actually got invitation to learn on ground. That's amazing.
And that I would recommend to everybody. I was so scared. It's not easy. I was underconfident. Like just, because I'm young as well. I don't know how to walk into a estate agent and say, "Hi, give me this, give me that." How do you, I just don't know what I don't know. But that's why I'm saying it was so helpful when I went with Tally. First 2 agents, we walked inside. Here's a top tip, people. I put my phone on voice recording and I pressed the button. I put the phone in my pocket. Then we walk inside and I listened to Tally. Tally did them first. He said, "Hi." And they said, "Hi, you okay?" "Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Take a seat. And then it was just a little bit of small talk because you got to be a bit friendly or, a lady was eating, one of the estate agents was eating a Kit Kat Easter egg. It was not Easter. And we said to her as a joke, "Oh my God, you're already eating your egg." And she was like, "Yeah, don't tell anyone,
yeah.
Small talk, break the ice.
Break the ice, yeah.
That's it. Because you can't just walk in.
No.
You've got to have that.
Exactly. Because
you've got to be memorable.
Plus, another tip for the beginners is that they get agents. They get every single day people walking in, either looking for a house for themselves or lots of sourcers, because sourcing is now deal packaging is a very common thing. So they get loads of same people coming in looking for the same thing, and it's just like a script all the time, going blah 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 blah. This is what every day the same thing.
Because that's what people are taught.
You have to be different. So now, obviously, for the beginners, now with the service accommodation, we're talking about rent to rent. Rent to rent, it's not everybody understands it, and for some people, it sounds like the illegal subletting if they don't understand what that is. So now you are talking to an agent. How did you approach them? With the idea of rent to rent. So if you can tell us a bit more.
So we just. I think one mistake people make is they walk in and they just say, "Hi, I'm Ruby. I do Airbnb. I do rent to rent, guaranteed rent. Here, give me your property now." That's too much.
Whoa!
Don't forget, an estate agent is a normal person. She's just doing her job, or he is just doing his job. They don't know guaranteed rent. They don't know rent to rent. They don't know SA. These words are nothing to them.
Nothing.
In the property world, it means something to us. To them, it's garbage. So the way we did it, Tally walked in and he said, "Hi, we're looking for some properties to rent." He said, "Okay, whereabouts?" Tally said, "Birmingham city centre." "How many bedroom?" 2 to 3. He started looking on his computer. One tip I learned from Tally is don't speak more than you need to. Just answer their question. Bounce.
Nice. Great advice.
It flow. That's really top tip, I would say. Then they start asking you, "Okay, is it for yourself or, furnished or unfurnished?" Then you start saying, unfurnished is okay because we would like to furnish them to a standard because we are a company, we work with, then you start saying what you do. You can either say we do Airbnb or you say you're a relocation agent. You have clients and you work with them and they stay with you on a short-term basis.
Like a corporate lets, for example, corporate client, they're very common.
Yes, and that's it. Keep it short, snappy. Nothing more you need to say, "Oh, guaranteed rent, oh, rent." No. Corporate clients, short stay, we're looking for properties. That's it. If they ask more, then you give more. But generally, if you've said your bit and what you do in a nice way, they will understand it. And they're like, "Okay, so will it be a corporate let then?" "Yes, it will be." "Do you know any landlords that will be happy with that kind of tenancy?" "Yes, let me have a look." Or, they might say, "It depends what kind of reaction you get." But we kind of got a good reaction. they just said, okay, that's fine. Here's a few properties. Let me ask them. And then I will get back to you kind of thing. So we left the estate agents with like at least, we visited about 5 or 6 in the whole day. And we left with about 4 or 5 deals, I believe. Potential leads, not deals.
Amazing. Leads, yeah.
So,
amazing.
So
Absolutely.
worth it. And sometimes face-to-face is so much better because they can see you. Your personality can shine. And on the phone, you're just saying, hi, have you got property to rent? Is it available? Can I do company let? They get this phone call 20, 30 times a day because everybody goes on a property course. Yeah, everybody goes on a course. The gurus tell them what to do. They listen to the guru. They ring the estate agent. Boring for them, it's a cycle. So I would say just
face
let
to
your
face
personality shine. Yeah,
absolutely. Because sometimes you can just click with the agents, as you said, they're just normal people, and sometimes you can click with them. Like I found just before the corona started, we had viewings as well, and I clicked with one agent so much that we're just going to be friends. It's just one of those. And how would I found her if I would just call her? So it's just you just don't know.
Exactly.
So it's so much better, as you say, to show your personality, go in.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
But always, I was going to say another tip as well. That's not easy to do when you're new. When you're new, you are learning how to be confident as well as learning about property. So my top tip: go with somebody experienced like Tali, ask him or ask anybody who's already doing it. Ask them, can I shadow you? Can I follow you around? Because the way me and Tali did it, he talked in the first 2-3 estate agents. I recorded it on my phone. I listened to it in the car. Then I built up the
confidence. Yeah.
And I said, Tali, you stay in the car. Let me go do this.
I can do this. Ooh,
yeah.
Yes, girl.
I was like, you stay here. I got this, man.
Amazing.
And
okay.
I was so glad I did that because, like I was saying, if I didn't do that with Tali, I wouldn't have called my letting agent the next day, and I wouldn't have met my letting agent the next day. So my confidence helped me with the deal. It all goes hand in hand, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, what I can also hear from what you just said is that when we were saying how important it is to network, you also gave them a tip about follow someone if you can. Now, if the beginners will be like, well, I don't have anybody to follow, that's exactly that point where you said before, network, follow you, follow me, follow us. We're more than happy to help.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I do essays as well. But the point is that how did you found Tali? By networking. It's all about networking. And yesterday I was making a episode with Tommy Villes and we were talking about how important it is not only face to face but online networking. That online you can reach 1,000 times more people. And all matter is just comment on their posts, just like their posts, join Facebook groups and things like that. It's like property Facebook groups in relation. Be surrounded by people who are doing what you want to be doing. And that's the way, as you said. And then you found people and friends, like even you and me, we are property friends, and we hit it off from the first time we met. We met, what was that, on the Blue Oak?
In York. We met all the way. See, it shows I travelled all the way to York from Leicester. You travelled all the way to York from Devon.
Yes. And we met in York.
We would do anything for passion. And when you meet like-minded people, you become friends for life. Because I'm passionate, you're passionate, boom.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Can we do a virtual save? Woo! Virtual save. Boom. Amazing.
So this podcast would not be happening if we didn't connect online. I want to emphasize that so much. Don't be afraid to speak to someone because you don't know them. In life, we don't know anybody when we're born, right?
Absolutely.
But we make friends at school. So why don't we do this when we're adults?
Exactly. and online. And the reason why I'm making huge points about how important it is to socialize online is because loads of people they start listening to, when you're in the beginning, and they start listening to the ones who already made it, and they go like, surround yourself with like-minded people, surround yourself with like-minded people, and then they get scared because they are like, well, my friends and my family are not like-minded, what do I do now? And that's the whole point about, just because you don't have like-minded people around you at the moment that doesn't mean that you can't find them. Go out, go online. Exactly. Find them. Don't necessarily just stop seeing people you're seeing if they're not putting too much negativity in your life or anything like that. But they are like-minded people out there. Go and find them. Like you and me, as we said, no, we would not be having this episode now without being.
No.
We are just such a good friends online. We stayed in touch online. We chat all the time. Follow the same people, follow the same groups. Absolutely. Well, amazing. So, Ruby, now, can you, no, sorry, I just have one more question there. So, because we're talking about a rent to rent, so now you've spoken to an agent, you're looking at the house there, potential leads. Now, was it hard to find a house or flat where subletting, that makes sense, was allowed, is legal? Did you found any issues when you look? Do you see what I mean? Was it difficult to find?
I mean, I think with me personally, I think I just got beginner's luck. I got pot lucky. The first agent I called, I got the deal. But from my phone calls in Birmingham to agents and, other agents in Leicester, the biggest challenge I faced, oh, no, that's subletting. That's illegal.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I have a lot.
Yeah. So just to overcome that objection, I would have a notepad ready with objections already. I would always make notes. So you have to think one step ahead. If they say that, what are you going to say back? So I would say, oh, I appreciate what you're saying. But subletting is actually when you have an AST and then you rent it out again on another AST to AST. That is subletting because it's not allowed. It should be one person living there or a family or whoever it is. And then when you explain to them, it's actually a corporate let where the company takes over and then their employees stay under that. They some will understand, some will just carry on saying subletting. But it's up to
there's loads of benefits not for the landlord to turn their single let property into serviced accommodation. There's loads of benefits for that, and obviously if anybody wants to know a bit more about that, they feel free to pop the comments below or ask questions. There are going to be ways of contacting us. We're more than happy to help and go into more detail about it, but there are ways, there are many benefits for the landlord to turn their single let into serviced accommodation. So
definitely. I mean, it's not just the guaranteed rent, but I was going to say there's certain tax relief savings that they get, section 24 or something like that. But
absolutely,
that's why the key thing I'm trying to say here is know your stuff, know your knowledge, so that when you are talking to the agents, it comes across so you know what you're talking about.
Natural.
Yes,
exactly.
Natural. Like you do this all day, every day, and they would be silly not to give you a property.
Absolutely. That's if you make sense, if it's basically, in the end of the day, it's a business. So they are there to do business, and their job is to find a tenant, the perfect tenants for the property. Now, I have a perfect business plan, which a landlord can actually benefit from it. They get a guaranteed rent, no missed payments, nothing like that, which can happen with a normal buy-to-let. And there's so many other benefits. Once they
we clean the property. We keep it in show home condition. We look after maintenance. They do nothing but sit back and get the rent.
Yeah, well,
agents
the only thing, just for the beginners, the only thing with service accommodation, what landlord, when you're doing rent to service accommodation, what landlord is responsible for, it's for like a structured issues or like a boiler issues. Anything minor little issues, etc., we're responsible for. So there's so much benefits because any landlord have to look after the structure issues anyway.
Exactly. So that's just the landlord duty.
That's just the landlord duty, but everything else, like little maintenance issues and all that, everything else, as you said, it's all up to us.
That's it. That's the benefit of the deal. That's the advantage when we're telling the landlord, when the landlord thinks, what's the benefit of me giving you my property? Why? This is when you say, I will look after it in show home condition. I will look after the maintenance. You will get guaranteed rent. That's where you start firing away what your advantages are.
Absolutely fantastic. Well done. Okay, so what was what would you think they were like your biggest challenges? Maybe like top 3. Like what was the?
You mean? Would you say in terms of essay specific, or
yeah, because
or property in general?
No, in essays, because you are here, you know, as the podcast name of the podcast is How Did You are answering really today, how did you get your first rent to essay? So if you please can tell, so for the beginners, what sort of like biggest challenges you had when you were getting your...
One of them, what I would say first of all, was the rent. You know, asking for 2 weeks rent, like upfront for free, or asking for some sort of negotiation, because I need to go in the property, get it ready, because mine was unfurnished, so I have to buy the furniture, order it, deliver it, set it up. It takes more than 1 week, you know, at least 14-15 days. So I asked my landlord for some leeway. Can we start the official contract on this date? But I got the keys on this date. So that was
they said yes.
He did. Luckily, he did. He did.
Well done,
I must have charmed him.
It's your gorgeous eyes when you blink.
Yeah, I flutter my eyelashes. But yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, because I didn't know how to structure it. How do you say to someone, give me a property for free for 2 weeks?
Yeah, give me.
There's a certain way to say it, isn't there? You know, if you say that, they'll say no. So I had to really like dig deep and figure how do I communicate that to him. But I found a way. That was one challenge. Other challenges. Second challenge. When you're on your own, it's so hard. I mean, I wish I had a partner or a somebody to sponge off or do it together. You know, because on my own, ordering the furniture, setting it up, like I had to take on quite a few handyman jobs myself. I wanted to. I'm not saying I had to. I kind of wanted to, because I like learning anyway. I'm a bit like a tomboy. I like to get my hands dirty.
Yeah.
If I could learn some of the skills, I don't want to pay somebody else for, you know, to do them. So I wanted to learn. So,
plus, in the beginning,
it was hard.
Everything is like everything costs you so much money. You need money for like a channel manager and things like that. So if you can save money in the beginning on anything, it's better to, isn't it? And as you said, then you learn something, and it's like you put more. You feel like you put even more effort into your, especially the first.
Yes, my baby.
Yeah, it's your little baby,
my child.
Amazing.
But obviously, with moving on from that tip, I would say my third challenge was a challenge and a blessing. I was the cleaner. Now, I do recommend this to people, because you have to, if you don't get your hands messy, if you don't know how your business works or how to clean it, how can you expect somebody else to know that when you don't even know the ins and outs of your business?
Fantastic.
And also, people can't take advantage of you. I know 2-bedroom house, which I got, takes me about 2 hours to clean. Nobody can say to me, Ruby, I did it in 45 minutes, 1 hour. What a lie. Because I know myself it takes 2 hours. So little tips and tricks like this, I know at the start, even I was the same. I thought, I'm not cleaning. No. I'm a business owner. I don't need, you know.
But then you have to bring your ego back down. And it's like, no, ego, get out. Ego, this is part of the process. Yes.
Of course, you have to get down and dirty with it. You don't have to, but I would recommend it, because you get more out of it.
Same.
And you just know more. But after a while, I did hate it. I hated cleaning, because it became a job. Just Ruby cleaning. Ruby is better than cleaning. I know I can focus my mindset elsewhere, get some more units, rather than being the cleaner.
Sure, but as you said, it's a part of the process in the beginning. So how have you outsourced the cleaner now?
Yeah, I handed it over to a management agent, so they're doing everything.
Oh wow! So you're not even managing any.
No.
So you're really just collecting the cash now.
Yeah.
Oh, clever girl. That's what you said, no? A businesswoman.
I mean, it was good. I just thought it just became not time consuming, but if I step away and outsource it, I can go get more. And that enabled me to get my second one this year. So
amazing. And that would lead me to my next question. So you already have your second one. So what sort of things you would change, or you changed from looking for the first one and setting up the first one? You would know, like, right, I will never do this. I will do this differently. So now you have a second one. What sort of... Oh, I'm looking for this one. I'm looking forward to that answer.
Difference. Major difference. Oh my God. in my first one, I'll be honest with you, with the furniture, I didn't have loads of money to like go IKEA and, you know, go for that. So I had to use my brain and just be savvy and use what I've got, which is Gumtree, Spock, Facebook Marketplace. I went to the guy down the road who's selling secondhand stuff.
Nice.
Luckily it worked. It was quirky. It made the house cool. Nobody would ever know that the stuff was like, you know, secondhand or stuff like that. So that was how I did the
thing is, even if you buy a brand new, after first use is already secondhand.
There you go. Yeah, well, there you go. And some of the stuff was so good, so cheap, so brand new. Like you said, it wasn't even secondhand, but no, you know.
And you wouldn't buy a horrible looking. You would buy something which is still great looking. You just get it for third of the price. Or,
literally. It's all about, like, for me, it had to be about money because I was limited with my mum, you know, on the first one. But with the second one, you know that saying, you get what you pay for, and like sometimes if you spend that extra, you spend a little bit extra to get that little bit extra back. So on my second one, I went all out. I did it exactly how all the property people on my Facebook would do it. I used the right sofa beds, I got nice photos, I painted the property myself, which I'm so happy and excited about. I learnt a skill about myself which I didn't know I had.
So now I know. God. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you, honestly. I'm a very proud friend.
Oh God, you make me cry, don't.
Oh no, careful the mascara now. You're on the camera.
But honestly, but with the second one, I'd say I just did it all properly. Like the first one was a bit second-handy, just because money was an issue, money was a problem, but I mean, the product was great. I mean, I got my first unit, I actually got an award. I got 9.6 stars from booking.com. I was shocked.
Oh my goodness, well done.
Most people don't know this. Most people don't know because I haven't put it out there yet or, you know, shared it. But
you are amazing. You know what? It doesn't surprise me at all, knowing you. Honestly, not surprised at all. I'm very proud.
But it just shows, like, people's reviews. They gave me good reviews. So don't knock secondhand because it gave the people what they wanted, kind of thing. So it all worked out. But yeah, my second one, I did the second one properly, spent a bit more money, and put the right things and thought about the things. The first one I didn't think. Bed, desk, wardrobe. I just shoved in loads of stuff. Half the stuff wasn't needed, but you learn that. So I didn't do that on my second one.
Amazing.
I use different beds, so it all makes a difference.
What about, are you using a channel manager? Or how are you, or not yet?
No,
not yet? Okay.
No, I'm just self-managing my second one. So
where are you registered? Just for the beginners again, yeah? Because obviously some beginners, they don't even know what channel manager is. So just very quickly. So when you have your serviced accommodation unit and you want to put it live, you need to put it somewhere like a Airbnb or Booking.com, for example. And they are called travel agent, online travel agents. Now, if you have your property in a multiple online travel agents, and you don't want to risk that you're going to get double booking, because that would risk you getting bad reviews and all that, cancellations, etc. You have something called channel manager, when it links all your travel agents where you have your property, and so if somebody books it on Airbnb, it's automatically blocked on Booking.com. So just
it avoids that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So you're not using channel manager at the moment, So you So what are you using? What travel agents are you using at the moment?
So, like, with the channel manager thing, it's good in a way because it's more exposure. You know, not more exposure, sorry. I mean, it's just more easy to manage, like, you know, the bookings from different channels. I have just selected, like, the main ones that worked for me personally. It's just trial and error for people.
Sure.
With my first unit, I put it on Airbnb and Booking.com. And it worked. That's it. So I just used that. On my second one, I done Airbnb, Booking.com, but I thought I would dabble with TripAdvisor and Agoda.
Ooh.
Not had much from it,
but it's there.
It's there. Yeah, exactly. So it's test and measure. I would recommend to say put it on all of them, but the main ones, Airbnb, Booking.com, and possibly TripAdvisor. Put it on those ones, or Expedia as well. See how you get on, because you don't want to list your property on all these channels and then nobody's you know, it's good to list them on all the channels, but then it's a lot of effort for you if you have not got a channel manager. You have to talk to individual Booking.com, Airbnb, TripAdvisor.
Every time you get a booking, they all need to know, just so you don't get a double booking. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
that was exactly what I was asking for the beginners as well. If you have a channel manager, because it's really important to have it, but there are ways around it when you have like one or two.
That's what I was just going to say. The number of properties has a big difference.
Hugely.
A lot of people I speak to, they said they get a channel manager after 3 properties. After 3 properties, it gets a bit linen, towels, which house, which apartment, it can get a bit crazy. But with 1 or 2, you can do yourself. I would not recommend the channel manager. If you don't want to spend the money, if you do want to spend the money because you don't want to keep messaging everybody one by one yourself, go for it to make your life easier. It's all individual needs.
It's extra expense, and it's what sort of work you're willing to do as well.
What time you've got, what time you haven't got. That's it.
And if you're willing to scale, because some people, they for example, their goal is to have 1 essay or 2 essays, and that's it. They're happy. But if you want to scale, that's where you start thinking about need to get channel manager. Absolutely.
That's it. Of course. And it's different. Some people want to be in their business. Like if I enjoyed the cleaning, maybe I would have like stayed in my business rather than stepping out and giving it to a manager. So it all depends on what everybody wants to do. Some people like being the host, meeting and greeting and being involved in the daily, you know, the daily thing of Airbnb. But some people just like to be step away on my phone.
And just get the money coming in.
Give me money, because it's all about, you know, it's what we're trying to do here. So it depends what your needs are.
And so now, in regards to, you mentioned meet and greet, so that just leads me to my next question. So what sort of a key system do you have for your properties? So just again, for the beginners, there's 2 different types. So people can do either meet and greet, as you said, or like a key box, or you can have a key nest, which is a place somewhere locally where people can actually drop off the keys and pick up the keys. Yeah. So what sort of sort of system you have?
So on my first property, because it's a residential house, it's quite cute. It's just a little key box outside the door, just like when we went to stay in our essay. It's just the, you know, when we went away recently to Blue Oak. So just a key box on the door. And with my second one, because it's an apartment, what I decided to do with that one, which I thought was quite clever, I think, is because it's in city centre in the apartment, parking is a bit of a struggle, right? I managed to create a relationship like with the car park guys down the road. They're literally 30-second walk away. I got friendly, hello, hi, you know, just chatty, introduce myself, told them what I do, ask them nicely, say, hey, can I put my key box outside your garage? Because actually my guests are going to come by car, so they will need to park the car here anyway.
Clever girl.
Drop the car off, drop the car, get the key from the box, and then walk 30 seconds to the apartment.
You are so clever. That's a great tip for those out there who's listening now. That's fantastic.
It's just leverage everything. Like use your brain, like if you can, like with everything. And just my main thing is just create relationships with people. If I didn't ask that person or felt comfortable, then I would struggle. I'd have to use Keynest, which is £15 a month. Why do I want to spend £15? You know, I just saved myself £15 a month.
Yeah, so amazing.
Just ask. And if he said no, he said no. My ego would hurt, but that's it.
What would you lose? Exactly.
Nothing.
And doesn't it just show that, again, those points we had before, get out of your comfort zone, talk to people. No questions are stupid questions. I mean, like, even with a property, it's like, you know, when you said that you had a sort of like a property big in a lack. I mean, like big in a lack. But talking to others as well, like so many people, they get so many no's. I personally got so many no's in my area. Wow. So you were saying, Rubi, that you were very lucky as well. You know, that you had a big in a lack. But many people go through loads of no's, and that will happen. And the only way to get through is to keep going. So if you wouldn't ask for the lockbox in the car park, if they would say no, well, they would say no, and you just continue. You will find different solutions somewhere. What can you lose? And you people have to, for the beginners, you have to prepare to be, to be said no,
receive the no. Yes.
Receive the no. Look, I can't find my words today. Yeah, just have to be ready for receiving no. no, you know what, I'm gonna cut.
Because they say every no, you are one step closer to the yes. You know, it just I always like saying, because I work with children, maybe I always use that analogy, but I always say, pretend you are a child, yes? Pretend you are in the candy store with your mom or your dad, and you keep saying, mommy, I want the chocolate cake, I want the chocolate cake, I want the sweet, I want the sweet. After so many times you keep asking and asking, your parents gonna just say, they're gonna say, no, it's not good for you, no, it's not good for you, no, it's not good for you, mommy please, okay, fine, just one.
Just
It's never give up. It's persistence.
Do not give up. Do not give up. But we are not trying to teach this lesson, yeah? When we have a younger listeners, just keep bragging parents for something. No. We're talking purely about properties, right? Right.
Of course, yes, yeah. There's a balance.
Amazing, yeah. Oh, well, that's fantastic. So now you have 2 properties. How exciting. Yes. Did you get your second property during the coronavirus by any chance, or
just before?
Yeah, so is it tough at the moment?
It is. I mean, I'm in 2 minds, I'll be honest with you, because I like to just show the honest truth, because if I can't be honest, what's the point? With the second one, I got it at such a bad time, but I mean, I can't think like that. I can't say I wish I never got it or whatever. It Absolutely. Is what it is.
Yeah.
I got it in February and Corona happened in March. Oh God, beginner's bad luck. You know,
it's a yin yang, isn't it? You can't just be lucky.
You can't have it all. Exactly. Yeah. But with that one, I am thinking to sell it. If somebody can buy it from me, or I'm just thinking to ride out the wave. So I mean, my mind is open.
Amazing. Yeah. Fantastic. The reason why I asked that question is
Corona makes you realize, you know, is this what you want to carry on doing? Can your business survive when things like this happen? So it's a real eye-opening experience for me, and it's made me realize a few things on what I'm going to do in the future.
Amazing. Yeah, it is a challenging times for all the service accommodation providers at the moment. That's why it was just very interesting to hear, you know, you are very in the beginning of your journey with your essays, and the coronavirus happened. So, yes, and I still see you smiling all the time. And I was like, I need to speak to this girl. Everybody needs to listen to what she's got to say. Staying positive still, no matter what's happening.
I mean, you've got to. I mean, if we let everything affect us, then God help us all. If we let every little thing in life keep affecting us, we ain't gonna get nowhere. Oh, I've got no petrol in my car, I can't drive. Oh, I lost money. Oh my God. Oh, this happened. Oh, that
blaming
happened.
everything around.
Yeah, just accept it. Okay, happened to me. I don't like it. It's not very nice, but what can I do with what I've got?
Life
Simple.
continues.
You either can do something or you can't. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's just so important to not to blame everything and everybody around you, blaming for your when you're not achieving certain things. People blame government, people blame their jobs, people blame their partners, people blame also the children, also there's always reasons why they're not doing something. Yeah, and it's all up there. So even the coronavirus, look at you, still smiling, still out there. Like now we are recording.
I'm just finding a way. That's it. I'm just finding a way to still make money. Either carry on if I can, or sell it, you know, to somebody who wants to take it from me and, you know, do essay themselves as well. So options are open.
I'm not
going to there's no point crying and being upset, because then my brain won't be functioning, you know, in the right way. So
absolutely. Oh, well done.
Life's too short, I'd say. Life's too short to be upset and worried and about. I know we have like bills to pay and money is an issue and things like that, but we're alive.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing.
Well done. We are alive. We are healthy. We are young. We are healthy. It's like we got so much energy. We got a great network around us. We have any questions we get people to ask them, you know, we have people to ask. We are so lucky to be surrounded with a really good people, aren't we? We have really good network. Like you and I, we are part of a few networks, like Blue Oak we mentioned before is a perfect example. You and I, we are both part of that group. It's just fantastic community, isn't it?
Of course. I mean, there's another group as well that I might as well check out on here as well. Property Newbies. That is for anybody new, whether you're young, old, big, fat, small, skinny, does not matter. You know, join that group. If you, it does not matter. We all help each other out. It's such a good group, such a good way to get out your comfort zone.
Is that on Facebook? Yeah.
Facebook, Property Newbies on Facebook. Sorry,
Property
yes,
Newbies.
Facebook.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. What else? Are you anywhere else? Is there any other groups you would be happy to recommend to the newbies?
When I first started, I was in a group called Goliath. I'm not sure what they're called anymore. Goliath sourcing or something. My advice is join every group, look at it, read all the stuff, look at the file section, in each group, because there's so many hidden gems
told me
there.
that. You told me that. I never knew that. You told me that in York. That
yes.
So you got a Facebook group, so you got loads of files, and when for the beginners, what means files? So things like deal analyzers,
viewing checklist, what to look for on a viewing.
Exactly.
People pay money. People pay for these things. Don't pay when it's there for free.
It is there for free. Exactly. You just need to know where to look.
And now you know.
And now we know.
Join loads of groups. But my advice is join loads, look at loads of groups, speak and introduce yourself, get a feel for things, speak to the members, but pinpoint your focus on no more than 3 groups, I would say. I focus a lot on Blue Oak, Property Newbies, because I want to help them. Property Newbies is my group to help and give value and also learn as well, because I'm always learning. I'm newbie too. And then Blue Oak, I am a student of life, always learning, because everybody's quite mature in that group. I'm quite young, so I can learn from people's wisdom and age experience. So, and
they're all very happy. Those groups are amazing for motivating, for help, for advice. And just inspirational in general, isn't it? It's just fantastic. So and this is the reason why I'm making a huge point about those, is that, as we said before, lots of people, lots of beginners, they get scared. They're saying, well, I don't have any like-minded people around me. What do I do? That's what you do. That's what you do.
Find them. They're out there.
They're out there. They're out there. Go and find them.
There is somebody out there for everybody. You might not think it. If you like collecting stones, you might think nobody likes collecting stones. I'm just the only one. I guarantee you type in Facebook or Instagram stone collecting group, you will find them. It's where your focus goes, where you find what you find, where you focus on or what you want. So get out there.
I have people who knows me, sometimes they get shocked because of my who knows me, they are shocked to hear what I'm just about to say. I actually have English coins collections, and I do.
Me too.
And I
have the 50p's, the 50p.
Yes, because they're pretty. They have pictures. Yes.
Rabbit and the frog.
I got all of them. I got £2 and £1 and all of them. Wow. And it's and I joined the group, as you said as well. I joined the group because I wanted to know more about those.
You might think it's silly. It's not silly. There's people out there who
interested in the same. And it's if I'm very, very excited about that coin at home, but no one at home gets excited with me, then go and find those people who are excited with you and be excited together.
Exactly. I love it. So true.
Amazing.
So true.
Right. Okay, my lovely. And so can you maybe give advice to the new listeners out there for maybe any book you would recommend to read, or any documentary, or where do you get what sort of thing you listen to or you read to when you want to get some inspiration? Or
book wise, I am terrible at starting them and not finishing them, but it's still I can still recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's a really
classic.
Good book.
Yeah,
love it. That
by Robert Kiyosaki. Just for those out there.
I can't say the name, so I'm glad you did.
Robert Kiyosaki.
That's a good one. It really puts into perspective how the rich get their money and how the poor necessarily don't get their money. It's a really good book about how to think.
He's basically explaining the difference between being employed, self-employed, investor, and there's a different and what basically passive income means, and what you can achieve when you start thinking bigger. Yeah, absolutely. Just for those out there, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's basically pretty much every single person I met in the property world, from being 17, 18 up to 60, 70, whatever, everybody
50,
read
60,
everybody read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a classic. So
even if you're not in property, it's still a great book to read about money. Financial education is so important. Whether it's property, selling hair bubbles, anything. It's good to know about money, because we're not taught about money in society, which I hate, and I'm very passionate about.
Me too. We could do another podcast about that only, because I'm fully passionate about it. We finished school, we are checked out there, we don't know what mortgage is, we don't know what
don't get me started
is.
Don't get me started.
Let's not even.
I won't stop.
No, me too. I think we should do a podcast on that. What do you think?
We should. I think so.
Oh, amazing.
But other things people can watch and listen to, TED Talks. That podcast helped me out so much in the beginning.
Amazing.
I learned so many words. What does buy-to-let mean? He interviews normal people that have got thriving businesses, how they went from zero properties to 5, 0 properties to 20, 0 properties to 40. There's something for every type of listener, whether you're beginner or experienced. You will learn so much.
And we love Ted.
We do. Ted is amazing. He's
Ted
cool,
is
man.
amazing.
Ted,
you're amazing.
You are amazing, my pizza. Also, I would recommend YouTube videos, like personal development as well. Like, it sounds silly, but type in Google how to be confident, how to speak to agents. There's so many videos out there of people doing it in real life, so you can watch them and listen to what they're saying. So
absolutely.
YouTube videos, podcasts, books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Go for No is a good one as well. Go for No. We could put a link or like a description of books or something, because off the top of my head there's so many.
Sure, I was planning to do that. We'll just give some tips as I'll be preparing this video. I'll definitely put some books, some ideas for the books. But have you heard of Grant Cardone, like the TEDx rules, for example?
I have. He's very I've heard of him, and I've seen the influence of the 10x.
The 10x. Yeah, that's a very good one as well. So it's basically Grant Cardone. For those who don't know him, he is a very successul man with properties.
He's like the daddy of real estate.
Yes, he is. And he also runs a training companies as well. But he's the rule, the 10x. There's so many rules comes with it. But one of the rules is basically that just times everything, every goal you have, times it by 10. Just be thinking bigger, always thinking bigger. It's just one of those that I always remember, that if I want to, let's say if I have a day where I'm planning to call 5 agent for 5 properties, I'll go for minimum 20, that whatever, just go bigger. Even if you don't achieve it, then you're still going to achieve more than 5, for example, even if you don't achieve those 20, but you still get more than you think you would. Times everything.
I like that. That's a good tip. Yes. Good little tip.
Amazing. All right, Ruth. So I think we covered pretty much like everything from how you started, and the mindset and networking, everything, furnishing, etc. Now, so what is your, if you can just like for the as we're getting into the end, what sort of goals you have? But what is the plan for Ruby for the next year, for example?
Oh, good question. It's actually different to what you probably think I'm going to say. My goal for the next year is to own my first property. I am gagging to buy my own property.
Ooh, what do you want to buy?
I want to get a buy-to-let. I don't know if that's in Leicester or in Wales, like Ted, similar to Ted, because I think what he does is pretty cool. I'd like to do the same. So that's my target, really. How do I buy my first property this year? It could be more than that, but I like to, it's funny, like you said the 10x thing and aiming for more. I actually like to aim for less, so that if I do get more, then I've overachieved. For me, I'd be happy with 1 property. If I get some people say, Ruby, 1 is too low. Aim for 3, aim for 4, or however many
aim for 10 times 10.
Ted has just bought, I think, 16 houses in 8 months. So anything is possible.
Wow.
But I'm just going to say 1, because I've got to sort out how I'm going to get from here to here. But that's my plan anyway.
No, but that's your plan, because you are in the beginning, and you have to be also realistic. So as much as we're saying the 10x rule doesn't apply to everything as necessarily, this is more, but I know what you mean. It's very, very true. It's just don't want to confuse the young listeners out there, don't push yourself. I mean, push yourself, don't push be realistic. But be realistic.
Aim for more, but be realistic. Like I could say my 10x thing could be I'm going to get 3 properties this year, which is actually possible. It's more than possible. But if I'm realistic, because I've got no money, I've not got a job, how am I going to get, am I mortgageable? First of all, probably not. So like, be realistic, Rubes. Maybe if you get a job and you do it for 3-4 months, use the pay slips, get the property, you could probably get 1 or 2. So, you know, that's the way I'm going to think of it. But
what about...
Yeah.
Have you been only thinking about using your own money, or have you ever been thinking about a JV, which is joint venturing with someone?
Yeah.
Have you been thinking about that or not? That's not your thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Actually, you're doing it with your mom. Actually, you joint venture with your mom already.
Well, that's it. Yeah. And with the second property, I got that was funded by like somebody, like a family friend. So that's like my first investor, let's just say.
Ooh, yeah.
But for buy-to-let, I would love to JV with someone. If I can do it on my own somehow, if I can get the money from parents, because that's my only hope. I'm only leveraging what I've got. I haven't got 20 grand. I haven't got 10 grand. I haven't got that kind of money. But it's not going to stop me from the goal I want to get to. So I'm going to speak to loads of mortgage people. I'm going to speak to bridging people. You know, give me free money, not free money, but can you give me what I need, and we make the deal, you know, from the deal. Is it possible? So I've got a few different routes, but I need to speak to the experts, because I'm not an expert. I need to know how I can get my ducks in a row to get what I want, because money for a deposit, I think I've kind of got from family, I hope. If not, Facebook, I'm coming for you. LinkedIn, I'm coming for you. Instagram, I'm coming for you. Anybody who's got any money, give it to me.
Give it to me. I'll make them work for you.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Well, I'm sure that anybody who would invest money in you, that you know, they would not regret it. So yeah.
Too kind, Anton. Too kind.
You're
Do you
very
want to sign
good.
my loan agreement while you do that?
Amazing. I have a pen, you see. On the podcast, they're not going to hear it, but yeah, I got a pen in my hand. I'm ready.
She signed it, people. She signed it.
It's
you
all
heard
that.
it first.
It's all recorded, and there's no way out. Oh, amazing. Well, Ruby, that was such amazing having you on the show today. So you covered some tips. You gave the listeners great tips. Also on what like real tips from a real experience. Something you just went through recently as well, because you just been setting it all up recently. Then Corona happened as well, and look at your drive and everything. So this is exactly what we want you to share with others. Your drive.
Of course. Yes.
Thank you.
I just want to show people, if I can do it, and I've got a lot of like stereotypes for why I can't do it. I'm a girl. Oh, why does a girl want to be into business? Why don't you marry somebody rich? No. I've also got not
interested.
I need my own.
Oh, if someone would tell that to you and me, we're gonna probably punch them, wouldn't we?
They say it to people. You know, in my culture, people say it to me all the time. Ruby, why are you stressing? You know, in our Indian culture, because I don't know, the man has the money and the girl is the housewife. I could not want anything. I don't want any part of that. I do not want to be the housewife. My husband can be the housewife. I'll go to work. I don't mind.
But you're not the housewife.
Honestly, so I just want people to know, if I can do it, and I'm a girl and I'm Indian, and I have the pressures of cultural pressures, as well as age and money. I've got no money. I'm young. I'm learning experience. I've taught myself everything from talking to people, YouTube, Google. If I can do it, why can't you? I am nothing that nobody else is. I am just what I am, and so is everybody else. So if I could do it, so can you. You might have one things I haven't got. You might have money. You might have more time. You might have an uncle with even more money. Or you leverage what you've got and just take action, because life is too short to not go chase your dreams, man. It's really too short to work for somebody else and be miserable. Be happy, because we have to be selfish, and we have to come first. If we're not happy, our life and our people in it won't be. So please take that advice, guys. Just get up, do it. Don't be scared. So what if you get it wrong? So what if you forget your words? So what if you feel a bit shy? Nobody's going to remember this in 5 days, in 6 days, or in 3 hours. So just, like a child, you fall off your bike, you graze your knee, you cry a little bit, whatever, get back on the bike and
continue. Exactly.
And that's it. And if anybody needs help with a kick up the arse, then I am always here to give that.
That was such an amazing ending to this episode. You are amazing and really, really inspirational. I said that a few times today, and I will keep telling you that every day when I speak to you, because you really are, and you deserve all those words. So yeah, fantastic ending as well. I really am sure that any newbies out there will find a lot of value in the message you had to say. I'm gonna pop I'm sure, as you said, you know, you are more than happy to answer any questions if anybody has any questions, so we can maybe pop our details somewhere if anybody wants to contact
socials.
Find us people on social if anybody has any questions.
yes I'm on Instagram as Rubi Takhar Property, Instagram Rubi Takhar Property, Facebook Rubi Takhar, and LinkedIn Rubi Takhar as well.
Amazing. And as I'm going to be making that video, I'm going to spell that for them as well. So
please do.
I'll do that. That reminds me, I should do it for Tommy's episode yesterday as well. Yep, I'll do that. Amazing. Well, Ruby, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Problem. Thank you for having me. I'm still excited. Me, little old me. It's been an absolute pleasure, Lenka. I'm so happy to have done this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, I'm really glad you said yes. And I'm sure we'll record something again soon.
Of course. Love it,
darling. Right, so let's just say goodbye to the listeners.
Yes.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and again,
no
Ruby, thank you for coming to the show. Love you lots.
You too, girl. I will see you soon, and thanks for everybody listening to me. It's a big thing, so thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye, girl. Mwah.
Mwah. And now don't. No. Hold on.
I'm boiling, man.